Hi, I'm Carl from Apt, and this is the 2023 X93L series mini LED TV from Sony. It's the replacement for 2022's X95K series, and in this video, I'll be giving you a closer look at it and talking about what's changed from last year's model, so stick around. The design of the X93L series is very similar to the X95K. The screen is wrapped in a thin metal bezel which keeps all the focus on the picture, and the pedestal can be arranged in 3 different positions: standard, narrow, and soundbar. Or you have the ability to put this on the wall with an optional wall mount if you choose. It's available in 3 sizes, 65 inches like we have here, 75 and 85 inches, and they range in price from $2,400 up to $5,000. However, those prices will change throughout the year, so be sure to give us a call or click the links in the description to find out about any specials we might have going on. For connections, the X93L gets an antenna hookup with an ATSC 3.0 tuner, Ethernet, optical audio out, RS-232C, 2 USBs, an IR input, a 3.5mm analog video input as center speaker input, 4 HDMIs, which I'll talk a little more about in just a moment, and finally Bluetooth and Wi-Fi for your wireless connections. There's also a little toggle switch to turn the far-field microphone feature on and off. Now going back to those HDMIs for a sec, numbers 3 and 4 both support next-gen gaming features like variable refresh rates and 4K at 120 Hz, and number 3 is also where you'll find the enhanced audio return channel. Now let's take a look at the operating system. The X93L uses Google TV, which we've found to be easy to use and gives you access to a huge library of apps. The layout's pretty straightforward. You have a top pick section at the top of the home page. Under that is a row of apps, and finally some additional content curated from several different streaming services that's all broken down by genre to make it easy to find something to watch without having to open a bunch of different apps. Another fun feature that Sony includes on the X93L is Bravia Core. This is a paid streaming service like Netflix or Prime Video, but it lets you stream HDR movies at up to 80 megabits per second, so they're gonna look closer to Blu-ray quality than those other services. To put it in perspective, Netflix movies play at a maximum of about 15 megabits per second. You do wanna stay aware of how frequently you're playing movies, however, because that's gonna use a lot of data. The X93L also integrates into a smart home easily. It's got microphones built into both the remote and the TV, so you can use your voice to do things like control smart home devices, search for movies or music, or even just check the weather. It's compatible with Chromecast, Apple Home, and AirPlay 2, and even Amazon Alexa with the addition of an Alexa device. So no matter what type of smart home you have, this TV is likely going to fit in pretty well. Then you have the audio, and this is one of those rare TVs where the sound quality is actually pretty good. You can feel the bass, dialogue is clear, and it offers a surprisingly wide soundstage. It's 2.2 channels made up of 2 mid-range drivers, 2 tweeters, and 2 subwoofers, and each driver gets 10 watts of power. So you really can get away with using the TV's audio if you want to, but this picture is so good that you're probably going to want to add something better, and Sony has some great soundbars to choose from that complement the X93L really well, especially if you take advantage of that S-Center channel option. If you need help finding one of those that fits your budget, be sure to contact one of our home theater experts here at the store. And that brings us to the best part of the TV, the picture. This is truly stunning. We've seen a lot of great TVs over the years, and this definitely stands out as one of the better looking ones. If you live in the Chicagoland area, I would highly recommend stopping by our store to check it out in person. I wouldn't call it a bargain TV necessarily, but the cost is absolutely justified by the picture. The color quality is fantastic. Black levels are super dark and inky, and it looks good no matter what you're watching. Dolby Vision content shows off amazing details in the highlights and shadows. If you watch a lot of Netflix, you can take advantage of the built-in Netflix picture mode designated specifically for it. SDR looks great. It upscales lower resolution content to look almost like it was shot in 4K originally. It's got anti-reflection technology built in to keep reflections to a minimum. Plus, the picture gets super bright, so it's not going to look washed out if there's a lot of ambient light in the room. But it also looks fantastic in a dark room. Light bloom is kept to a minimum, motion handling is great, so sports and other action all look terrific, and there's a lot to like about the X93L if you're a gamer too. Sony this year has finally added a separate game dashboard that lets you make adjustments to gaming specific features. You can turn variable refresh rates on and off, you can control motion blur, it's got a black equalizer that helps enhance the dark parts of a game to see what's kind of lurking in the shadows. They have a crosshairs that can be turned on to help you aim when it's needed. And they're also supposed to be adding a feature that lets you scale the picture down to a comfortable size so it's more like a computer monitor, although it hasn't been added as of the making of this video. It's got auto HDR tone mapping that works really well with the PS5 to even out the highlights and dark areas in games so you can see all the important details too, and it supports all the relevant next-gen gaming features like I mentioned before, variable refresh rates, 4K at 120 Hz, and auto low latency mode. There's one thing to mention though where Sony missed out just a little. It would have been nice to see 4 HDMI 2.1 connections. Since only 2 of them are, and one of those is also the enhanced audio return channel, you really can't plug in 2 next-gen gaming systems if you're using a soundbar with that audio return channel. I don't think that'll keep it out of the running for TV of the year, but it's something to consider if you're a gamer. Finally, like I mentioned earlier, this is the replacement for the X95K series. It's not radically different, but there weren't a lot of things that needed improving on that one. The game dashboard is new, and Sony added an eco menu that has options for energy savings, but honestly, you're gonna get the best picture quality by turning that mode off. And there was further optimizing of the XR processor, which seems to improve the picture and audio performance, but we really don't have tools here to measure those things scientifically, so it's more based on the eye and the ear test. If you already own an X95K, there's really no reason to run out and upgrade to the X93L, but if you have a TV that's more than a couple years old and you're looking for something new to spice up your home theater, this is definitely one you'll want to check out. If you have any questions on the Sony X93L series, or you need any assistance finding the right TV for your home theater, be sure to contact our experts here at Apt. We're available 7 days a week and are always happy to help. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.